Hello, this is TT,
And this is Qwim.
and we are back with some more.
Delivers from Evil.
Yeah, that game. We're actually recording this really late because we're getting ready to go on a vacation, so we need to have this ready to go. Recap with where we were at. We are
drunk.
Yes, we got drunk. We were roofied by what I think is Lucifer, which turns out that the Nephilim elephant dude, the German, he is Michael's nephew. Technically.
Yeah, I actually thought that he was going to be his son, but his nephew, that makes a little more sense.
That makes more sense. And his dad is a fallen angel, so which is interesting. I did also receive some feedback, and we're not going to have Lucifer, or whatever his name is, porn star dude. He's not going to have the William Shatner. We're going to pick a sexier voice for him. So when he comes back, we're going to do that. So anytime you're ready, Kim.
This time, one of Keldrin's servants, an elderly woman named Ilsa, if I remember correctly, greets us and bids us welcome. Though I give her a small smile, Michael simply storms inside.
Don't be rude.
From down the hall, I hear a pair of voices speaking near the throne in hushed tones.
This is getting out of hand. I told you before. Stop it. Cat's messing with my projects. Relax. It's all. Besides, you were the one who.
Wait, I know that other voice.
That was before. What's going on here? Who is this? Oh, that's nice.
As we approach, Keldrin is standing in front of the throne looking cross, and next to him is Ace.
Aha. That's Dad, son, and Uncle. Aha.
Ace, what are you doing here? He raises his hand in greeting, but Michael moves in front of me, blocking my view.
Oh, protective Michael. I like it. I would very much like to know that as well.
Wait, what's gone into Michael?
Took him long enough.
Let's see here. Well, if it isn't good old Wonder Boy himself. Finally decided to ditch the Golden Gates to mingle with us lowly earthlings, did ya? About time. Speak plainly. Why are you here? How do you know about us? Plasma Savo as my guest. Do not try to start a fight in here. I just has the carpets changed. Okay, so it's not his dad. Which some of you might be like, duh, he doesn't look old enough to be, but Michael doesn't look like he's older than 500 either.
Yeah.
That's right, Goldilocks. That means you gotta be nice to me. I am perfectly capable of being civil.
Hey. All three of them turn to look at me, stunned at my outburst. I move around Michael, so I face them clearly.
Not bad for a drunk girl.
Would any of you three be kind enough to explain what's going on here?
We're fighting over you.
No hiding anything. I point to Michael, who shrinks. No beating around the bush. I point to Keldrin, who merely raises a brow, of course. And no destructions. I point at Ace, who's shocked at first, but whose expression quickly changes into a smirk.
Oh, yes, ma'am. As time plus.
Very well.
Very well, Fräulein. You're quite right. You do deserve an aspiration. This little mutt here is my personal associate.
He gestures towards Ace, who scoffs mockingly.
Really? After everything we've been through, is that how you sees me? I thought we knew each other far more intimately than that. Anyway, of course, you ought to know that Michael and I are in regular correspondence, and likewise, these two tend to cross paths on occasion. I would sooner cross swords. Oh, at least buy me dinner first. I'm not that easy, soldier boy. Chicken General, nice.
Michael makes a noise I've never heard him make before, like a chicken being stepped on.
Very nice. Why you?
Can we maybe get back on track?
Quite right.
He shoots Ace a quick glance, who merely shrugs. Meanwhile, the red never quite leaves Michael's face.
He's gonna kill Ace. Of course, there's also the fact that Michael and I are, by human reasoning, at least considered family of sorts.
Because you're Lucifer's son?
Dun dun dun. And died. So it looks like you can be forthcoming every once in a while, Michael. It seemed pertinent given the present circumstances. I am rather surprised that you did not boast of your heritage the first moment you two met. You presume too much about me, uncle.
I gulped nervously, the tension in the air so thick you could cut it with a knife. All of a sudden, Ace saunters over to where I'm standing and wraps his arm around me.
He still has shackles on. And now, let's not scare the princess here with your family drama. We're on the same side, aren't we? Get your hands off of her.
Michael, it's okay. We're friends. We had drinks together earlier.
Ah, so that's why you smell like that chip dive downtown us. Take your hands off of her. Yes, sir.
He does his ass, but not before sneaking me a quick wink.
I like Michael. Ass is right. We're all here for the same reason. To put a stop to my father's endeavors. However, the way that has been going about isn't working. And what would you suggest in turn? Simple. We'll power off, cover more grounds and tools, rather than tearing at each other's throats.
Hang on. You're really going to help us stop Lucifer?
Of course, little angel. I told you before, I always kept my promises. When it suits you best. I'm going to pretend I didn't hear that. Now about this pairs. Whom should go with whom, I wonder? That is simple. Ariel and I shall continue on together. I, for one, do not trust this person that you keep company with.
He gestures at Ace. Michael, you're being rude.
I just want to keep you safe. Well, now, that's mighty presumptuous of you. What are you talking about, fool? Well, who says our sweet princess here even wants to investigate with you? How dare you! Easy. Still, the fact is that she deserves to decide who she gets to play detective with, doesn't she?
Michael looks just about ready to tear Ace's head off when Keldrin steps between them.
Now, Michael, mind your temper. These new carpets aren't exactly smite-proof. But you did entrust this mission to Kitty, yes?
Right, and I'd appreciate not being talked about like I'm not here.
Of course not, Fräulein. That would just be rude. Right, Michael? Besides, you haven't exactly been down to earth since ancient times, have you?
At first, it seems Michael is about to protest again, but his expression flickers and he relaxes slightly.
Of course. I said that I trusted you, Ariel. So I will. I am sorry.
Michael.
Great! So then, Kitty, who do you want to go with? The choice is yours entirely. Have at it. Choose wisely. The fate of earth, heaven, and hell could very well rest upon this very moment. How exciting.
Well, that's certainly comforting.
Oh, man.
But he's right. Who I choose here and now will change everything, but how can I possibly choose? Michael is my most trusted friend. I've known him for so long, and I know that he would have my back should things get dangerous. But he seems just as clueless about Earth culture as I am. On the other hand, Ace is a brash and bona fide enabler. Plus, I don't really know all that much about him except that he's a friend of Keldrin's. But he seems to know a lot about Earth, and that could help me immensely. I consider Keldrin, but I don't really trust him, and he seems withdrawn. I'd best stick to the other two for now.
That's sad. I would have picked Keldrin.
Okay, I think I'm ready to make my choice. I choose...
Okay. Ace tried to roofie us. I don't think he's going to be a good one to go with.
See, I would trust Keldrin over Ace.
I know. I wanted Keldrin. Realistically, I really did. I thought Keldrin would have been a great choice. But we got to pick between Michael or Ace. I trust Michael. I don't trust Ace. Some people like that mystery in their life. I don't know that I do.
Well, Michael seems pretty, like she said, he seems pretty clueless about Earth, but he would have her back, no matter what.
I think Ace would too, but I think he's desperately trying to get into our pants. I just don't trust Ace.
Yeah, I'd go with Michael. It seems like such an obvious choice. Michael, of course. The man in question lets out a sigh of relief. Then I look at him. He offers me the faintest of smiles.
We're going to have beautiful babies.
Part of me wants to apologize to Ace for not hesitating a second in disregarding his offer.
There was a second. I just like to throw that out there.
I hope he doesn't take it personally, as I enjoy the time we spent together. While I'm obviously curious about him, Michael is the only choice. We're here to complete our heavenly mission together.
That's right. You wound me, kitten.
Ace's tone is teasing, indicating he isn't hurt at all. Of course not. Sorry.
Yeah, right. Of course, stick with your regular comrade. You'll miss the fun we had soon.
Ace sends an affected wink my way, teasing me for my choice.
No teasing. I like Michael. We are not here to have fun, Ace.
Right, we're here for our mission. I'm glad Michael is here to help me. I'm trying to be as upbeat as possible, as I think Ace is trying to get a rise out of Michael, and I know Michael doesn't appreciate Ace's nature.
With that resolved, we shall take our leave, Ariel.
I glance at Ace, who appears satisfied or at least accepting of my choice, and Keldrin, who is unamused with the situation or with Michael's brash interruption.
Michael's the man. I like it.
Now, Michael's leaving. I better go too.
We are going to have to assert ourselves, though.
Hoping to be friendly, I offer a smile to the two men before turning to catch up with the fast retreating Michael. I catch up to Michael as he crosses the threshold from the throne room into the unoccupied entryway. Michael! I reach out as I approach the man from behind, hoping to get him to slow or stop so I can get his attention.
What is it, Kitty?
Michael's tone is harsh, unusual in the way it is directed at me.
Uh-huh. We just picked you, dude. You better put some nice on.
Michael is usually unfailingly kind and polite with me, but it's easy to tell something isn't quite right. While he seemed relieved at my choice, since that moment he has been abrupt and unsettled. Is everything okay, Michael?
Everything is quite fine.
That obviously isn't the case. I might not know Michael well enough to be able to determine his thoughts outright, but his behavior is a sure sign something is amiss.
Man, I hope we didn't make the wrong choice.
I also know Michael isn't forthcoming with affairs of the heart or mind. His expressions betray the way he truly feels, even though he's not inclined to speak them out loud.
How many affairs of the heart has he had?
Furrowed brows, knitted in frustration, paired with glassy, unfocused eyes.
You'd think a couple 100-year-old person would be better at this.
You've been distant and a little rude. Ever dutiful, the idea of him being rude catches his attention, even if it wasn't my intention to chastise him.
I apologize, Kitty. My mind is elsewhere. Do not worry.
I take this opportunity to place a reassuring hand on Michael's arm, a show of affection as well as a reminder that I am here for him. I've seen him through his vulnerable moments before, and I hope he can see it is safe to do so once more. Michael's expression lightens up, feeling my touch.
Ooh.
I can't help but worry, especially when I know something is wrong. I rack my brains thinking of the events leading up to this moment, wondering what could have Michael feeling this way. Perhaps it's his discordant relationship with his nephew, Keldrin. Is it to do with your relationship with Keldrin? I feel like I'm missing something here.
Other than the fact that they don't like each other?
I offer this
supposition.
Supposition in the hopes that me starting the conversation will make it easier for him.
You are correct. It is about Keldrin. You'll have to be patient with me, as there is a lot to explain.
That's okay. I renew my assuring smile, happy to listen to Michael if this will help alleviate his emotional burden. Michael takes a deep breath, steadying himself to open up about what is bothering him.
When I first took up my service to the throne, I was not of such high rank. Despite this, I was more than happy with my duties, even though my brothers were taking on bigger roles than I did.
I didn't know that about Michael, but I suppose that it has been such a long time since he was anything other than the high-ranking angel I know him as.
I always admired their strength and their devotion. Lucifer in particular, whom I loved dearly.
With the mention of that name, Michael's behavior makes more sense.
For millennia, we carried ourselves dutifully. Yet, when the rebellion started, and I was betrayed by my brother...
Even with Michael's steely disposition, he struggles to get through this sentence without issue.
My position quickly changed. Despite our previous relationship, I knew I couldn't stand idly by as he sought to wreak havoc. So I took up arms in the fight. Lucifer turned away from heaven, the throne, all of us.
He does his best to remain composed and strong, but I can hear the waver in his voice and see the tremble in his hands. And he still stays further from redemption.
I fear he is beyond redemption, even if he chose it.
I can understand why that betrayal would be I trail off while my sympathy is heartfelt. I feel at a loss with not knowing a word that would suffice in describing such heartache. I have experience in soothing Michael in times of need, but cuts and bruises don't come with such an emotional upheaval. This is new territory for us both, but I hope I can offer a positive experience by allowing Michael to talk and being unwavering in my support for him. Once more, Michael steadies himself and his expression seems more determined.
We must complete the mission.
Lucifer cannot be allowed to cause further harm to heaven or earth.
The thought sends shivers down my spine. Does Michael know these butterflies are the work of Lucifer too? You think that he might?
There have been new demonic signatures detected that are similar to those seen previously in relation to Lucifer's activities, and there is a possibility that he may be involved here. That is why I have joined you. You are more than capable, but I did not wish for you to face this alone.
He offers a smile in the hopes of reassuring me.
I think it's so weird that they have just these random little interjections. Ariel, he must be stopped. He's not saying that. Like, come on. He needs to say what's being on the screen.
Lucifer's involvement is a development that does add a whole new level of fear and danger, but I'm confident in our abilities. Are you reluctant to trust Keldrin because you think he might be involved too?
I am not sure how I will face another betrayal.
His unflinchingly honest confession jolts my stomach to a high level of unease and nausea.
Yet it is not the act that causes me fear. It is straying so far from salvation, one cannot return.
I watch Michael, tears almost forming in his eyes as I share in his pain. I don't know what words of comfort to supply.
Keldrin has always been troubled. I do not wish to see another person I care for follow an irredeemable course. I do not wish for Keldrin to follow his father's path.
And you do it out of love?
Precisely.
When you look at Keldrin, do you see reminders of him?
I do. It's not something I often have to face, since Keldrin and I communicate through scroll whenever possible.
So coming to Earth and seeing Keldrin face to face is a big deal for Michael. And yet so far, he's been a big part of establishing ourselves here.
It is somewhat difficult. I do not want to place my mistrust onto Keldrin when there is no good reason to.
While I cannot directly understand Michael's feelings, I certainly sympathize, and I think it's admirable how Michael is making some strides to overcome his bias towards Keldrin.
I appreciate you listening to me.
I'm your friend, Michael. I'm always here, and I appreciate you sharing with me. Once more, I rest my hand on Michael's arm and offer a reassuring and affectionate squeeze. I know it might be hard, but I think we should actually head back to Keldrin. Head back to Keldrin.
I suppose my leaving was abrupt.
We probably should have some questions and get some guidance before we go off investigating on our own.
Of course.
Well done. See, now that's how you read the script. It shows up on the screen and you read it.
Ready to go back?
Like that.
Michael nods
Resolutely.
as we return to the throne room to gather more information.
All right. And this is a really good place to go ahead and call it for today. Very interesting. So Michael's an emotional hothead, Ace is a playboy, and Keldrin is an enigma, who I would probably have rather chosen over Michael or Ace. But it's good. Michael got some 500-year-old baggage off his chest. I'm sure he feels much better. And now we're going to get some information. So join us next time when we get that information, and we will join you then. Like, comment, and subscribe. This here is TT.
And this is Qwim.
Goodbye.